know that ticket prices in London are becoming very expensive, but how expensive? Did you know that TfL has just raised adult ticket prices by 20p and child ticket prices by 5p? So how does this affect us?
So TfL raised ticket prices by 20 pence, which I think is inappropriate and unacceptable because the service is just not better. So for the 20p raise, you're actually not getting a better service, and in fact, if anything, it's got worse.
I think raising the ticket prices are they're outrageous because it's hard enough trying to pay them already, but now they're putting them up, it's just going to become impossible soon.
I'm very concerned about the proposed raise in ticket prices. I think that the cost of transport in London is already very high compared to other international cities, and it's hurting me in the pocket. It's very difficult to afford the daily expense of travelling just to work, forget any kind of leisure travel. And it forces people out onto the streets to think about walking and other methods of transport, which I think are actually quite dangerous, walking and cycling. I think that in a big city like London, public transport is important, and that the government should subsidise it rather than citizens like me having to dig deep and pay for this basic essential of everyday life.
I'm really upset that the train prices have gone up because my parents really can't afford it.
I think it's pretty disgraceful, really, that transport prices are being raised in London. Obviously, London is already a city which is far more expensive to live in than any other cities in the United Kingdom, and that's not necessarily reflected in pay for most workers. So, for example, key workers such as nurses, doctors, teachers are not paid very much more at all for living in London. And the fact that things like transport prices keep on being raised means that teachers won't necessarily want to continue to be in London, which means that there will be a dearth of education facilities within the capital, and we'll really see standards falling. I'm completely against it.
Now that you've heard the view of the public and what they think about TfL raising these ticket prices, have a think about, is it really necessary for them to raise the ticket prices? Or is it just inflation causing this? Let's lead it back to the government. What are they actually doing to help the TfL? Is it actually TfL's fault? What do you think?